Hey, this is Jay from Bedouin Soundclash, and you are listening to the Leake in Review.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the Leak in Review.
Hey, thanks for joining again on the Leak in Review. Quickly, if you're into this show, you think there's some unique things happening, some unique perspectives, maybe you're being introduced to some artists that you didn't know existed before, I invite you to go check out my other podcast called Music Row, where it's in the country music lane, a little bit reaching into Americana every once in a while. We get some great guests over there as well. I promise there's going to be something that you might like. And one in particular that I would point out for this time around, a lot of them are fantastic, but there's a guy on the Music Row podcast that you might want to check out named Stephen Wilson Jr. That one was a fun interview to do. Lots of great stuff over there as well. Lots of great stuff over here, and a great one in store for you today. Jay Malinowski, you would know from Bedouin Soundclash fame. He had a solo effort called Jay Malinowski. I guess it would be probably first released about 15 years ago. And now it's Malinowski. A new album called A Landslid of Stars. We're going to talk about the songs that he wrote, how he connected with his pal Amy Interrupter, and what the discussion was in her being part of music that is on this album. We talk about Bedouin Soundclash early days, how they started off in a pizza sports bar. And we talk about my overall FOMO that I experienced during COVID when Bedouin Soundclash was playing an epic show in Vancouver. And Jay speaks to how it worked out, but it was a bit of a roll of the dice considering how many people showed up to check out the band live. Coming up on the Leak in Review, Jay Malinowski.
Where there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is the Leak in Review on tour.
On tour brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting fans with bands worldwide. It's time to start thinking about New Year's Eve, and if you're in the Vegas area, Kings of Leon got a couple. December 30th at the Venetian, and then New Year's Eve itself at the same venue. Go say hi to our pals in Kings of Leon. Just say you know me, and I'll let you in for free. And just a couple days before that, you can go check out our friends Blue Rodeo and Adam Baldwin as they play in Oshawa together on December 27th. Coming up on the Leak in Review, Jay Malinowski.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Jay Malinowski, and you are listening to the Leak in Review. Sorry, let's go again. Hey, this is Jay Malinowski, and you are listening to the Leak in Review.
I don't know where I was when I heard the news. Maybe it was just an email, maybe it was a text, but I didn't know that there was going to be more stuff coming from Jay Malinowski. And I guess that's the beauty of art, where I think artists by and large are just always kind of working on projects. And then eventually a manager somewhere along the line hears about it and you're off to the races. Is that kind of what we're talking about right now with another Jay Malinowski project?
You know what? I'm always working on music. There's never a day that I don't work on music. It seems to always go in cycles for me. So there's like the Bedouin Soundclash world, and there's a filter for that for me where inspiration goes this way for it. And then there's the Malinowski world, which is what I'd probably do if I hadn't met Eon, or if I was on my own playing. And that's more of the folk rock punk world of things. And so I know when I'm veering into that direction, and I just go on feeling. So it's like, I'm feeling like this is what's coming out right now. And so we're now, it's always 2 years behind. So I started working on this about 2 years ago.
Did you know it was going to be coming? Like, or were you just kind of doing it because you have to always write?
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, did you think you're going to release something?
Yeah, I knew I was going to. Well, you know what? I think we're out on tour with Frank Turner, and we've been doing Bedouin stuff for quite a bit. And I just started writing songs, and I was like, it was the stuff I was listening to at the time. Usually what ends up happening is I have songs that come all the time. And then one song will appear, and I realize, I'm like, this is an anchor point to a bunch of songs that are hanging together. And in this case, that's what happened with Under Landslid Stars, this album that's coming out. I'm like, okay, there's a thematic change here, and I kind of go with it. So there's like a little bit of like letting go and intuition with it, and then acting on it once you see that there's something happening. Do
you think that there's some bands maybe throughout history that could have benefited from that by having side projects instead of trying to put all their sounds onto one album?
Well, let me tell you something, Jeff. I appreciate you saying that, because yeah, that's why I do it. Because I know, I mean, I'm a songwriter for Bedouin Soundclash, but that is just one side of the many things that of all the types of music that I listen to. So instead of ruining the lives of Bedouin listeners with with my new novel and Seafarer book, our Seafarer album, which I put out, I'm like, no, and I think these they can all, maybe schizophrenically be part of me as an artist, but yes, it's separating those two things.
It's almost the same thing as what I do with the podcast.
Right. You just did that. Yeah. Segregate.
I have a country podcast over here, thinking that by and large, there's an audience who maybe doesn't want to hear from that particular artist. Whereas on this side, the Leake and Review, it's a focus point in my opinion. So when you're writing these tracks, do you go, okay, I've got Under a Landslide of Stars, this new album, it's all coming together. I've got 6 songs ready to go. Write another song. Damn it, that's a Bedouin song. Yeah. I gotta holster this one. Yeah. Until next time I run into Eon and say, by the way.
Yeah. That happens all the time. I have like 10 right now that like from the last couple of months for Bedouin. And that's what happened before with this album, with Under a Landslid Stars. It's like I would have these like songs, I'm like, and they stick around. And as long as they keep sticking around, I'm like, okay, they keep poking their heads up, being like, we need to, let's move forward, go record,
That's a great way to say it, because I know a lot of people that get so excited about a song and they'll record it or write it and hum it into a phone, whatever they do, where they do that. They're so excited. The next day they go and they put it out, or they get into a studio, they finish it off. They're proud of it, but then it fades.
Yeah.
Like 4 months go by before they've maybe released it officially. And they're like, no, you know what? I'm not in that vibe right now. But for you to say, no, this is coming back. Yeah. It's resonating with you first. And that's what it needs to do, because you're not writing for anybody but you.
That's an interesting thought. I have what you just said. I have thoughts on. I'm not only writing for me, because I recently heard an artist say, oh, everyone does this just for themselves. It's just a performative thing for themselves. And I disagree with that. I would say that there are things in the world that I think are really important, that are from my perspective important. So it's obviously coming from me, and I can't get outside of that myself. But there's an altruistic sense of being like, I think that if I don't say this, who will? And I want to, and you just want to throw your hat in the ring with something that you think is an important way to phrase something and say it. And so, for example, Deeper Than Blue is a song I wrote for Finn, my son, and was a way of expressing the love I have for him, that was like deeper than blue. And there's two sides to that. There's it came from an art historian that used to write about, but I used to read it, and he wrote about the color blue being very hard to get to, and it was a really rare pigment, and that you could never get close to blue in nature, blue of the sky or the blue of the ocean. If you tried to swim to it or get to it, it would go further away from you. So it had this ethereal quality. And I thought, oh, that's a great way to describe my love for my son. But then at the same time, it's a way, it also is blue. Like that when you have a kid, you realize I'm connected to this human for life, and whatever happens, whether it's good or bad, my love is so deep that there's a sadness. There's a kind of sadness comes to you. You're like, oh my God, like this is a profound connection that is blue. It's not like any other love I felt. And saying that, I wrote that, but the people that this song affects the most in my, and when I play it are a lot of people who've either lost children. I've had a few people who've lost their kids or so I think that this isn't, you write from yourself and you hope that also it's a connection. Like, I think that's what music's about. And it's a fundamental difference than I'm writing for my own pleasure on stage and whatever I want to do, that's what I want to do. I think there's like something, the amazing part of music is the communal nature of it. That like, so for example, we'll play, I was just saying this to Bradley downstairs, like people want to hear songs of Bedouin, like When the Night Feels My Song. We love playing it. It's our favorite part of the night to play, just to hear people sing. And that's like, so to me, music is the ultimate connection of communal vibration when it comes to like, you don't have to speak the same language. You don't have to know anything about it. Like, it's not like art. You're like, oh, you don't know enough about that. It's just like music's like direct connection. You don't need education. You don't need anything. You don't need language. It's like, here you go. And we can all share it. So, and that's the goal as a writer, I always think, is how do you get to that kind of higher vibration? And anyways, and you fail. I'm going to be on, like, this sounds like I think a lot of myself as a songwriter on a daily basis. You're really falling so far below that mark all the time. And it's like every so often you get one of those that just connects on a way larger level. That's
the thing that blows me away with artists, where you hear that they have hundreds of tracks that have never been released. We just had Afi from Bahamas on the program, and he was saying like, there is so much garbage that I have written that no one will ever hear. And it's surprising to me, knowing the body of work that Jay Malinowski has, that Bahamas has, whether it be with singer-songwriter or with Malinowski or with Bedouin. Like, there's a big body of work, but it's funny to think of it that this might only be 2% of the songs that you've written because they just had a better connection with you and then the fan, friends and family and so on.
Well, it's like life. I would say I totally agree with that. And I tell this to people who, when they're starting to write songs, because say when you've only written like 5, 6, maybe 10, 20 songs, you can remember them all. And you can also like, there's a shorter span. And I say to them, I say to someone when they ask me about writing songs, I'm like, it's peaks and valleys. Like, you have like 3, you have one that's really good maybe. And then you're going to go into you go back into the valley. It's gonna be a ton of bad songs, but every single one of those is vitally important to you getting to the top of that peak, that summit again with the next version of yourself. And it takes like 10 bad ones. It's
an unlistened foundation.
Yeah,
right. Like
exactly,
you've heard it, but no one else has. But it's the part to bring the other song up to the top. To get it released. Because I'm saying, like, when I say it starts with you, if I wrote songs and I handed them to you and I said, go sing these songs and I'm going to pay you whatever the dollar amount is, you would go, I hate this because I don't like these songs. No, I'm just
How
saying,
do you know I wouldn't like your songs?
Well, there's a couple that you would definitely dig, but
okay.
but because they maybe they didn't connect with you.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And that's why I'm saying it starts with you. It has to be that connection. It's writing for you, and then the bigger package, I guess the reward is that community that comes back around and says these songs are amazing.
Well, and look, like I was going to say too, that it's all life. Like, it's like the rest of life. It's all right place, right time, right moment. I think that I've had so many songs where I'm like, this song is really, really good, and you get it to the studio. And it turns out badly, like, because of the way it was recorded, the vibe that day, like the musician, like it just doesn't. And I had it happen, like a song like Brutal Hearts. I tried recording a couple times, and then we went to Philly, and King Britt, our producer, set us up in this legendary studio, and we had everything live off the floor, like this, like all the musicians, and we played it live. And it was so spooky and it got this vibe that was so ethereal to it. And it was magic. And the magic part of it, you can't plan, right? I could say the same thing about When the Night Feels My Song. Like, you just don't know. You just don't know why it connected. But with Brutal Hearts, like, that song has gone on. That song has gone on to be like covered by people, and also put in a lot of shows because it has an energy to it. But if I had just left it at the original recording, it didn't have that energy. So maybe those songwriters just need to go back to the studio and record it again. I don't know.
I've heard the same thing about artists going into a studio where they say they're going to lay down 7 tracks.
Yeah.
And the one they're most excited about is the first one that they try.
Yeah.
And more often than not, they go and redo it at the end of their entire session again because everyone's got more comfortable in the studio.
Yeah.
They've got all the jitters out of the way. Everybody knows their sounds.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You kind of like, did you need the studio to do this to figure that it wasn't working? Because it seems like an expensive venture to start off in.
But it speaks to the fact that music is communication. And so there are undeniably good songs. It's also that communication between people. And when you, after a long session, I always say, if you're not a good, you can practice for 3 weeks, but after 3 shows on stage, it's worth 3 weeks of practice, like, just because of the pressure and all that stuff and having to communicate under pressure. And yeah.
How about, when taking Malinowski out and performing it live, are you starting to get your wheels turning about, we got 150 people in the chorus. I don't know. We're gonna need a bigger bus.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure out if we can rent a plane for the community choir. I've been thinking a lot about it. I'm really excited. I love problem solving, how to do stuff on stage. And actually, with the Malinowski thing, one of the challenges that I'm excited about solving is doing everything with as least amount of people as possible. I mean, Bedouin's only a 3-piece, but I'm trying to do this as a 2-piece and have stations. I got inspired. I remember, like, I love drums like that, like the drums that are disconnected. So, like, it's one guy playing a snare, one person playing there's a bass drum, like, kind of like a marching band. There's something really exciting about a group of people playing percussion. And I remember I read an interview once where Joe Strummer from The Clash was talking about on his solo album, that's how he wanted to start doing, like, with the Mescaleros. And so, to your question about Malinowski, I want to see how much we can do with as little people as possible, and maybe not the 150 person choir, but so and yeah, I'm really excited to take it out.
I know someone who had a lot of loops and stuff like that with an album that they released, and then they went to take that to the stage, thinking it was going to be easy, but they recognized that in between every song they had to reset for 3 or 4 minutes. Recreate these loops and stuff.
Totally.
Where if with Bedouin, it's the 3 of you and it's like, okay, we're ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows their parts, right? As opposed to, I need everyone quiet. I got to get a little bit of a drum clap now, and I got to record this into a loop. So I appreciate that they challenged themselves, but they walked away from that and said, we're not going to do that.
I'll be honest with you, looping scares me. When I see people do it, I'm like, good for you. The giving up that much control to the machine for me has never worked out.
I saw Jay Malinowski do a solo showcase once, and I know I've brought this up with you in the past, where you blew out 3 strings on your guitar in one song, and the first string blows out, and you're like, damn it, but you keep on powering through. The second string blows out, and it's like, oh, this is sounding rough now, because it's supposed to.
It sounds bad.
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
You're down to, you've lost a lot of your instrument, but then you blew out the 3rd string, and it became so good. It became the most endearing thing because you are fighting, and you brought the song back.
Yeah.
In one song.
Yeah.
And it was like, it challenged you live, and you didn't let it go. And I'll never forget that. We were at the Sony rehearsal space down in the docks in Toronto.
Yeah, I think I remember this show. Well, Joe might have been there too. Then if that's where it happened, because it's funny you mentioned it's like, I'm like, which show? Because I'm renowned for breaking like 6 strings in a 1 song period.
You need heavier strings.
Yeah.
or a different strumming pattern?
I'll have to go with heavier strings.
That'll be the move.
Everyone, yeah, but I appreciate that.
It was one of those things that you could only do because you've had already so many reps of a performer as an artist in your life.
Yeah.
If that was your first time playing at the Boston Pizza Sports Bar on a Sunday night doing covers or whatever, and you blew out 3 strings, you would just probably leave the venue.
Just stop.
Just I'm out.
Well, I'll be, and I've done that. Like, not, I haven't left. I've never left. But I played.
You mean
Boston,
playing
the
Boston
Pizza Sports Bar. I played like when we started at Queens. Like, we played 3 sets, 45 minutes each. It's pitcher and wing night. And could you? Oh, you got to leave the game on. I understand with the TVs right behind us, but can you at least turn the sound off? No, you can't do that. Okay. So now you're playing. Yeah. So fighting an audience like that, whether we like.
I know of someone who, like, every band has done it. Every artist has done it, right?
it.
You got to take a stage somewhere and you're getting reps. But there was somebody who was playing, and at the time they were wrapping up their song, there was a big goal or a big point, and they're like, wow, this song really connected. It's like, no, they just won the championship. Everyone was watching the TV and not you. But I kind of like that. Yeah.
You got, well, okay. Yeah. I think it's a really good place to learn resilience.
It's a guaranteed busking payday too.
Yeah. I remember you talking about payday. Like I remember you'd be like, someone would be like, hey, they're going to pay us $150 a night. We were like, oh, that was so much money. And then we realized, I remember like, we've only finished one song. We have 3 45-minute sets. And it's like the clock is just like excruciatingly slow.
Right.
And thinking, how am I going to get through this night? But thinking $150, man. I mean, like that's a lot of money. We're going to be able to.
Also, though, it challenges you to play songs that you might not play. And by that, because you recognize that it works for the audience.
Yep.
So it kind of helps out your own personal songwriting.
Yeah.
Eventually, once you figure out these patterns.
You're totally right. Actually, we played so many different types. Like, and that's actually how with Bedouin, that was the sort of synthesis of our band. Was we sort of saw ourselves as like DJs. So like as a DJ set, where we would be. That's why the early Bedouin sets were probably 45 minutes worth of like splicing songs, where we would do like a Sean Paul song, we'd do like, and we'd throw that into like a Cat Stevens song, and we'd just be throwing out random, like within our style,
right, to
keep people on the dance floor. And so it was all about it. And we didn't have hits, so we were like, we would have to like have rhythms, and that's what kept people coming to our shows.
Bedouin, you had to Bedouinize it.
We had to Bedouinize everything. Yeah.
So now you come up with this idea. You're going to release Landslid Stars. You decide, okay, I'm going to get some people to work on this, and you invite your pal Amy, to join you. I'm not sure how it works with most people in most bands, but is it easy getting an artist to join, or you just kind of know somebody who might say yes and a lot of people who will likely say no? Because I'm sure she gets asked.
I'm sure she does.
I'm sure you get asked.
No one really asked me.
Here's Jay's number.
Yeah, here's my
number.
I'm ready to go. Just give me a call. Well, when it came to this song specifically, I had written this song, and I knew, and I'd written it in this. It had a very different tone before. It was like sort of it had been written for somebody else.
Not even
Shipwrecks.
Yourself?
Not
was
myself.
Was it going to be handed to them, or was this still going to be on your project?
It was going to be. This is an exclusive. It was going to be handed to them. Not really handed to them. It was like, here's something that I think you might like. But it wasn't. But I sometimes do that though. I'll just write and I'll be like, hey, like this is like a blonde. Like I was like in my head, I was like Blondie. I mean, there's a Tom Petty element to it, and so I had this. This is before the lyrical content though. It's just like vibe, and then I thought I want to do this with Amy because like I played it for her once when we were on tour, and she's like, oh, I love this song, and so we were down in the studio in LA. And so the way I usually operate though,
this is when the Bedouin is touring with
the Interrupters. Yeah, it might have, to be honest, like if I go down to Los Angeles, I'll usually hang out with them, with like Kevin and Amy and
And you just got a bag full of
and the
cassettes
twins.
ready to play.
And I'm like, can you guys please record some music of mine? and like, but actually when it came to like the lyrics and everything, I just was like, oh, I just want Amy to sing that like little line underneath the main line. Cause she has such an interesting grit to her voice. It's so recognizable and
extremely unique.
So unique. Yeah. And, so that said, when it comes to stuff where I'm doing like Bedouin or myself, I always usually have one person in mind, and usually it's somebody I know. I never try to ask people that I don't know at all to sing, because there's something personal about that. And I'm within reason. I'm going to say that, and someone's going to point out that actually have, but you know, whether it's like Carta Pirat or Amy or all the people that we have had as guests are people that are within our sphere of people that we know.
That's interesting because you write the songs for you first, the fans 1.5. You know, it's like they're right behind you at the onset of the song. But you always, as an artist, you're cool with interpret the song as however you like.
Yeah.
Unless I wrote it for you, then this song is exactly what it's about, and you must sing it in that tone. That's kind of what I'm hearing you kind of describe.
I wrote it for you.
You must sing as a patriot.
Yeah. Sure. But you mean for the fans?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're handing you have a song that is written for a particular person in mind, but you want them to kind of embrace what the feeling and the thought
that never
is.
goes. You know, here's something this is something about life in general. Never try to be the architect of the outcome for your life. So, or for what's coming. Like it happens so much, and actually, it's a real pitfall I see with a lot of artists, and myself included, where you start with your end goal. I want this person to do this for me at this time, so I'm gonna try to like do this and like try to create the outcome. And people don't operate that way. You know, they're like, no, I don't really want to. I'm not like gonna just go do something you want me to do. Or, you know, life is interesting because it's unpredictable that way. And so the best songs, the best collaborations tend to be like organic. They happen organically, as if it's like this is just supposed to happen, as opposed to you willing it through. And so with specifically, whenever I've tried to be like, hey, I think this song, I've completed the entire thought. I've written this song. I think it'd be great for you. The person's usually like, oh, but you should sing it.
Comes back.
Yeah.
Comes right.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just sing it? Because it's not my song.
I'm going to wrap up with two things.
Yeah.
One, you got to run with the torch for the 2010 Olympic Games.
Oh, wow. I love that you're asking me this question.
Never in probably the Malinowski family lifelines tree did they think that Jay was going to run with the torch one day, did they?
No.
And did you train for it? Because you had to do like 1 mile or 1K, or how far was it?
Oh, man. I think it was about 25K.
Shut up, you're a liar.
No, it was like,
I heard that
it was like 300 meters. They have you go through Gastown. It was great. Oh man, it was an absolute pleasure. I still have the tracksuit.
Oh, that white top.
The white.
Did you have the toque?
Yeah.
Sweet.
They had like mittens too. And
can you wear that?
And there's the torch too. There was the Bombardier torch that you couldn't relight. It's there.
You can't I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure we know somebody who could figure that out.
Yeah. Can I tell you something really cool? So this is what I love about this country. When you're talking about Malinowski, things that would have happened, things that may not have happened, whatever. So my mom's side came to Halifax, Cape Breton, probably like 400 years ago, like in the 1700s. My grandfather came through Halifax and signed his name, like with absolutely nothing to his name, in the 30s. And when this is pointed out, actually, my mom wrote an article about this, and it was like, when we were going to Halifax for the Junos in 2006, in the very building, like Pier, I forget the Pier's name, but Pier 101 or something like that. I can't remember.
The exact spot where
the exact spot where he
came.
signed, the exact spot where my grandfather had signed his name with nothing to his name. I was signing autographs for the Juno Fanfare. And I think it's just an incredible testament to like how, in terms of wild things that can happen. And I just liked how you said, in the lineage of, would I ever run? No, if we were peasants in Poland right now, I would not be. Although no, people aren't peasants in Poland at all anymore. But if we'd stayed on the farm in Poland, I would probably have ever gotten the chance to run with the Olympic torch.
Well, it was awesome. I was so happy that you got to do it. And
yeah.
Lastly, my big FOMO, one of the big FOMO moments that I had when everything was in lockdown, Bedouin played some peer. It's like peer to peer with you. Everything is with the water. Like,
I know.
But how many anchor?
Someone asked me that. Like,
how many anchor tattoos do you have? How many mum tattoos do you have? But Bedouin played this spot in Vancouver. It was some sort of like half outdoor pier thing that looked.
Was this recently?
This was when everything was locked down.
Yeah, you were there?
Everywhere? No, I just saw it online. I'm like, those jackasses.
Yeah.
They're out having the time of their life.
Yeah.
Because Vancouver didn't all shut down.
No.
There was a lot of places that didn't totally shut down. And they found this incredible venue for you guys to play. That had to have been like so uplifting for the band.
Yeah. Can I tell you something crazy? That was like 2022 or something. So it was right after lockdown, and they were able to throw this in North Van at the downtown.
It looked like an old warehouse.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's the waterfront down there where there used to be. It's like where the Sea West goes in. And I'm not from North Van, so I'm from West Vancouver.
No.
So different.
I could
no, so I was going to say
3 kilometers will change a man.
It's like, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about North Van. So what?
I've been to that area. I know where the sea bus goes.
Yeah. So it's right there. It's the Key. It's called the Key.
Okay.
So, but the crazy thing was they didn't expect that many people. So they threw this. So it's our friends, Dimitri, the guys at MRG that threw it. And they were like, hey, do you want to play this thing? We're like, sure. So they had I think 5 security guards, maybe 3.
Oh,
and 30,000 people showed up because people just were like, we don't have anything to do.
Maybe they like you.
So no, I don't think so. I think they have nothing to do. And so they, and so we played, and they called the police. They called the VPD. They're like, hey, look, we got there's 30,000 people down here, and there's 5 security.
They called the cops on their own party.
No, and they're like, we would like some back. They're like, sorry, we can't help you. So it was one of those things where we went on stage. We're like, man, if anything happens, it's like a tinderbox. If but it was wild. It was people were so excited to be outside.
Yeah.
And, it's Vancouver. Like the thing is us Vancouverites, we don't ever riot or do anything wrong. Like when we're in crowds, we're super calm.
Hang on. Guns N' Roses
so
goes
peaceful.
on stage late. Riot. Don't win the Stanley Cup final. Riot.
So Bryan Adams cancels his tour. Riot.
So there's 3 things. Sarah McLachlan's looking at a new postal code.
Riot.
I mean,
Lilith Fair's not happening this year. Riot.
That's it. Everything gets burnt down.
Yeah, but I mean, who isn't rioting for those things, right? I remember when the Canucks lost, everyone in Toronto was rioting, right? I mean,
everyone felt very deeply, very passionate.
Yeah,
fans.
no, I know. It's we're kind of known for a lot of great things,
but
worldwide.
Anyways, I'm just saying, seeing the imagery of that, and I felt really good for you guys. I felt really jealous for everyone who got to participate. Yeah. We got to do something when it finally opened up here. We did a show with Alexis on Fire.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean by the vibe where everyone's in such a good mood. This place was ramped. Now there's all the security. It's a proper venue. It's not someone's abandoned warehouse.
Yeah.
But there were people in there that had no business going into that show, but the mood was so incredible the entire evening. If it could have been your first time seeing Alexis on Fire, and for most people, if it's their first time, they don't know. It could be a shocking experience.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of things happening. It was so awesome. I'll remember those moments forever, and then also remember that everyone got COVID right after.
It turned out it was a super spreader event.
It was.
I think ours was too. Well, yours was inside. I know, man, I haven't thought about the whole COVID thing.
Well, let's not.
No, it's fine. We can talk about it. But yeah, it was such. I remember when you came back, it was such an insane. I'm so glad that we're over that mistrust, the general mistrust. You'd be like walking down the street and some people just cross the road, and it was like the messaging at that time was just like everyone's a threat. And
it's, probably the sad thing about all of that. Well, there's a lot of sad things, but I don't think we could ever go into that state again.
No, we do it.
Like, it doesn't matter what happens. And they might have all the science this time around.
Yeah.
To say it's going to be very bad for
no,
mankind.
We're Spanish flu people now.
Yeah.
We're like,
this is it.
we're like, oh, there's a flu.
Yeah.
I think remember it was like this happened before, and then like nothing. It was just the Spanish. They just called it the Spanish flu, and that's where we're at now. I think you're right. I shouldn't say this because if the overlords are watching, but I think it'd be really hard to get people to do a lot of the stuff.
They'll have to listen to a Landslide of Stars first.
They'd have to listen to a really good album first,
and then we'll make some decisions on whether or not we're going to go back into lockdown.
Realize that their life is great. Yeah.
Things are great. Let's keep it rolling.
Things are really good. Actually,
Malinowski.
Really.
Jay Malinowski. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Always the best.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great time.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shadow